On this episode of the John 1911 podcast, Freeze is back to day drinking, the Anderson burn down test, see-through pistol magazines, and a $5,000 truck gun.
Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Marky and Freeze, and this is episode 147 of the John 1911 podcast. How's it going, Freeze?
It's doing actually pretty damn good.
You sound pretty chipper, and so I'm assuming that you're off. This is now not your work week?
Well, okay, so I start my work week this evening because, I'm a third shift guy. But
Okay.
I've been up since like 4:30 this morning, and I am like rocking and ready to go because it's like, what, I don't know, 10 o'clock, something like that?
Yeah, it's about 5 till 10 right now, so it's late for us, but we've had busy mornings.
I've had about 4 pots of coffee and about a pint of gin in my system, so I'm good to go.
So this episode brought to you by Freeze's Liver and Kidneys and day drinking. So
Exactly. No, I all joking aside, no, I've been up since like 4:30 this morning. I've been just kind of doing shit around the house. Life is good.
yeah.
I'm getting ready to start my work week, which means 4 days from now, I'm going to be freaking milquetoast, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, there's just, all kinds of stuff. So there's been a couple things that have come in and out of the armory the past few days that you haven't even seen. So,
Okay.
like I've had it's been a dumpster fire trying to get extended magazines for the VP9.
Oh,
And,
God, Jesus. I don't want to talk about that nonsense, but
okay. So anyway, there's a product that I found the other day, and I think I'd seen it before, but I keep forgetting about it. Then somebody reminded me on Facebook about it's called. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a magazine. It's a flush fit magazine for the VP9 P30s, and it's 17 rounds, but it's clear plastic. You can see through them.
We were talking about that, I think, earlier in the week, but yeah.
And so I went ahead and ordered a couple of those, and I'm hoping they shipped them. We got notice on shipping, so they should probably hit the mail center. I would hope by Friday, by Wednesday or Thursday. So we'll have those, and I secretly have high hopes, and I think they make because they make a 17. I think they make like a 30 or 33, but I wonder if because I think they make a 21, and I wonder if the 21 is as big as the factory HK20 or if it's smaller.
That's interesting.
Because I wonder if a 21 from this company will fit will fit well in the big magwell that I have from Taylor Freelance. Because I'm running bumper pads.
Yeah, see that's interesting. I don't know. It's 50-50 on that, obviously, but
we just have no idea. So
we have no idea. But if we get them in this week, one day early next week, we'll shoot some video of it. And look, they'll either be good or they'll be shit. Either way, we'll film video of it, and it'll be what it is.
I'm secretly hoping that they're good, because just looking at what these people are doing, it appears that they are trying to make stuff like for HK guns. Like they make other stuff too. It doesn't seem like it's the other company that's just taking existing mag bodies and throwing shit together and be like, it kind of works, good enough. I'm hoping these people actually give a damn, and so I'm trying not to be pumped.
No, it'd be nice because I'd like to carry, I'd like to throw a couple of them in my VP9 and carry, 20 or 20 plus rounds, I would like to do it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sacrifice reliability just for a few extra rounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. None of us are. So, we'll see what happens. So,
but but it's interesting though. I mean, I'm hoping it's a good deal and it works out.
Oh, this reminds me. I haven't told you about this. And so a guy, I hope he doesn't hear this. I hate to say it like this, but
Ouch.
because he follows, he reached out on Instagram, and so I don't know why, I've never heard of him or seen him, and I don't want to cap on the guy, but I'm being honest here. So I published, I can't remember what it was, something with the VPs or whatever it was. That's what we were doing. And he rolls in and he's got a VP something. And he makes a comment about, how great these guns are, their perfection, because everything's perfect except for then he calls it a design flaw. He says, except for one design flaw. And I'm like, whoa, that's a pretty heady word, this phrase, design flaw.
Flaws pretty heavy-handed when you're sitting there praising a product. Okay.
And so then I'm like, then he said, because he said that his charging handle, the wings on the backs of the VP9s. He said one of
the little
the
nubs.
wings. He said one of his wings broke off or broke or something. He said whatever the language he used, he said it broke. And I was like, and hold on, I'm not even done yet. Trust me. Just let me finish because this is going to get really fucking good. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, and he's like, I don't even know, I was shooting it and I put it down and then I picked it up and I noticed it was broken. And I was like, okay. And I made a comment. I'm like, well, my guess was maybe you had a piece of a wing that was maybe a little bit too small for the slot. And maybe it was, jarring around in the slot and maybe it caused it to fracture and break or something. I don't know. But it's it's not like a huge design flaw, but, just get some new ones. And so he says he's going to, now it gets even better. He's like, I'm going to have some metal ones machined.
Oh,
I'm
seriously?
Nope, dude. We're not even to the finish line yet. We are not even to the payoff.
Okay,
not even to the payoff.
Okay, good.
And I'm like, okay, well, I could, if it's an issue because I could see, I'm like, okay, I'm running my guns hard. I'm banging on them and racking them. And, hey, you've seen me run guns. If something's broken on a contact surface, on a control surface, it could probably cut the fuck out of me. Because I'm like, damn, I fucking grab and rack and all of a sudden there's a jagged piece of plastic. It could cut me open. It's like, I personally would just knock the side off and buy some plastic ones again and just replace it and be done with it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
well, not to mention, let me interject here, not to mention that H&K actually, well, I know HNK.com or HNKparts.com, whatever the website is, sells blanks that you can actually take those little, whatever the fuck they're called, you can actually pull those out and slide blanks in to make the slide flush.
So that's how anal H&K collectors are. So not only if you hate the wings, you can take the wings out and just leave the slots empty. No. We're going to sell you blanking plates for those little things so they fit. It's like, okay, whatever.
Okay, so, but you don't have to have anything fucking milled because you can buy blanks to put in there.
Well, his position is, and we're not even at the payoff yet.
Okay,
we're still not to the payoff on this story.
Okay.
So it's like maybe it's because he originally wants it to be those wings are pretty effective, especially if you catch the slide, long and you're on the very back of it, or maybe smaller, slender shooters, weaker shooters, or those wings make a huge difference. If you have a girl in your life, to the listener, if you have a girl in your life and she doesn't like racking these 9mm guns, to have her pick up one of these VP9s with these wings on it, it'll make a big difference. Now let's go for the I'm going to go for the payoff here.
let me interject before you go to the payoff. As a guy who's got big hands, who doesn't have a problem racking a slide, when I first got the VP9, I'm like, I don't know about these little wing things. I thought about putting in the blanks, but I'll be honest with you, I'm fucking okay with them. I mean, they work fine. They don't interfere with anything. And I mean,
the only thing they interfere with me on is if I'm practicing a lot of reloads. Like if I'm over and over and over and over and over and over again, those wings can start to get raw on my fingers and on my hands. But now,
if you're wearing gloves, they're fine.
Yeah, I don't wear gloves. So,
anyway, let's go to the payoff.
I'm like, because he's talking about, I'm like, I'm kind of curious. I mean, I literally am walking into this not realizing where this is going because I did not see this coming. I'm like, because the fucking wing broke. I'm like, whatever. A guy's on Instagram, and I'm trying to grow the Instagram. I'll respond to everybody. So I'm like, hey, do me a favor. Send me a picture of what you're looking at here. Because I'm like, I'm curious how this broke. Maybe it was ill-fitted or whatever. So he sends me a photograph. This is his carry gun. Or this is his gun. I think carry gun. And I don't even know how the hell he sent it. This gun looks brand new. It looks cherry. Like, I don't even remember if it had like the letters filled in with white paint like the collectors do, but this gun was cherry. And the wing on the left side, the wings were in there. And there's this little, like, you know, like when you take a piece of plastic and like maybe if you bend it a little bit, like where it bent, it turns white. You know what I mean? Like it'll stress.
Yeah, I got you.
In the middle of the left-hand wing of this, and again, the wings are not that big.
Yeah, no.
In the middle. It doesn't even go to either side. There's like this little like swishy white line in the middle of one of his plastic wings. And I'm literally like, oh, that must be his replacement. Like maybe he marred it a little bit by putting the new ones in. And then he said some comment like, see how they're broken? And I go, and I respond, and I said, is this the original failure? Is this the broken wing? He goes, yes.
What?
And I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of this. So I'm like, well, I said, personally, I carry my guns kind of like for work. Like, I mean, I carry my guns, and I said, I personally wouldn't even notice that. So, okay. And I just let it go. And then he's like, I don't know, he's a security guard or something. And it's just like, I mean, it's bad. It's just, and then, you start looking at his Instagram, and he's got like all these cool pictures. Like he's got the gun up in front of the logo of a car. I really hope this guy doesn't hear this podcast, because I'm not shitting on him. I'm really not. But like his species of gun owner is very common, especially like, in the forums. And I was like, oh, he and I are like two ships passing in the night here. I mean, like, I've got a photograph that I haven't published yet because I was messing with magwells and base plates, and I had my gun apart, and I realized the slide stop on the right side of the gun, so the one that a right-handed shooter would not typically use unless you shot left-handed, the slide stop, because I had it up, it's gotten rust coming out from under the slide stop, like a fair amount of rust. And I was looking at it going, I guess that's a steel part, not aluminum part. Maybe I better detail strip this gun and maybe knock that rust down. But this guy, if he'd seen that, he would have had a shit attack.
Okay. So let me interject here. If you remember about 2-3 years, at least 3 years ago, we posted a picture on Facebook. I don't know if it actually made it to Instagram or any of our other social medias. I don't even think it made it to our website. But we were out at the chainsaw party cutting wood all fucking day long. And we took pictures of our guns because we were both carrying VP9s.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd been working, we'd been cutting wood all day, stacking wood, I mean, splitting wood. I mean, it was a laborious day. We were sweaty, it was hot, the temperature was high. And we took pictures of our, because you carry appendix, I carry it like 4 o'clock. We pulled pictures out of our guns, and saw the, the wetness, the sweat rolling off the guns. And on the DP9 at the bottom of the well,
The
I
rail,
guess
it's the dust cover, the plate on the dust cover rail.
Cover rail where it has the serial number, mine was all crusty and rusted.
Yours corroded, because it'd been sitting in sweat all day.
Yeah, exactly. And we actually took a picture of that and posted it. I don't know where the picture is. I mean, who knows? Whatever.
It's on the website. It's on the website.
Okay, so it's on the website. So when you look at it, when you look at a picture like that, I mean, it's like, I mean, these are working guns. These are guns that are carried every freaking day, and this is what it is. And when you show me a side tab that's got a little weakness in it, I mean, I don't know. I'm not buying
it. Well, look, a lot of guys, they don't carry their carry gun. They put it on for on Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, this is my carry gun. I'm going to carry for the next 2 hours. I mean, and it's fine. It's just I mean, dude, I've been carrying guns for
years.
I hate to say this, 30 years.
Yeah.
And every day, all night. And it's just you carry a gun you actually carry gets fucked up.
Yeah.
You see these police trade-in guns, they're fucked up for a reason.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's if you have to work and it's fucking raining, or you have to work and it's 95 degrees, or you have to work and it's, you're by a salty ocean, you have to have your fucking gun on you. And it's just these guys, it's especially the HK guys, it's basically why I never go to the HK forum. It's they are just fucking insufferable.
Well, look, okay, so a month or so ago, we're out at the range and we're working, we're building retaining walls, and it's raining like a son of a bitch.
Dude, that was fucking unbelievable. That was the heaviest rain I think I've been in a long time.
Dude, it was crazy. It was like torrential rains, but hey, we're working in it because we're there. We got to get the job done.
Dude, that was like Teddy Roosevelt in the Amazon rain. That was pretty hardcore.
Yeah, no shit, it was. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm carrying, you're carrying, we're soaking wet. I mean, my underwear is scalding my balls. Okay, there you go. That's my fucked up thing of the podcast, to where we're not going to
another reason why we don't have any sponsors.
Exactly. But look, at the end of the day, did we take our guns off and put them in the fucking truck to keep them dry? No, we carried them because it is what it is. We did the job. We got the job done. And when it was done, we were both, well, it looked like we both jumped in a freaking pond because we were that soaking wet because it was a torrential rain. But, we did what we had to do. And you know what? When you got home, you dried your gun out, you cleaned it, you did what you had to do to it, and you went on your way. It is what it is.
Yeah, I've told this story before, so I won't rehash it. But the worst I've ever rusted a gun is I worked. It was 95 degrees, and it was all day, and it was in the summer. And where I used to work, and we were on the range all day, and we had to carry concealed because it was a work from concealment, so appendix, and it was so you're sweating, and so your equipment's under a sweaty shirt all day, and do all that. Then my boss, we had to drive into town, which is an hour away, for some meetings in an office building. He was for an interview with a media company. And so like sweating for 8-9 hours outside all day. And then it was get into a truck. You're dying fucking hot. Blast the air conditioner, drive for an hour, and then walk. And then, I'm cooled off. Then you walk into an office building for 3 hours, which is, 68 degrees. Yeah, and when I got home that night and pulled my gun out of the holster, the amount of rust on this gun was holy shit. I mean, I just wiped it off and just put it on again the next day. But I mean, it happens, you just can't, if you're going to carry it concealed, you're going to carry it concealed. So, hey, we're going to move on here real quick. There's a product called it's called a Neomag. And it's this, I guarantee you are not familiar with this. So there's this product called a Neomag. And what it is, it's got a magnet, and you can stick it to the body of a metal magazine, and it's got a clip over the top of it, kind of like the pocket knives people put in their pockets. So you can have, and so what it does is instead of having your magazine down all the way in your pocket that turns and you can see it and makes a big old lump in your pocket, this thing keeps it below the top of the pocket line, and you can position it in the middle of your pocket, and so it's less visible from a straight on view. But then you can, when you're working your gun and working your reload, you can literally slip them in your pocket, pull the magazine straight up and out, and load your gun.
Well, what about the clip that hangs out on the outside of the pocket? How does that interfere?
Since it's a magnet, when you pull the magazine up, the clip stays still in the pocket, and the magazine just pulls right up out of it. It's pretty interesting.
Really? That's very interesting. I actually kind of like that because
it came in yesterday, and I just put it on and kind of wore it yesterday, and I haven't really used it yet, as far as under stress or whatever. But it's interesting. It's interesting. And John 1911 ordered it. They sent even a nice little hand note, hey, thank you for the order. They noticed it was us. And I don't know if we'll. Yeah. How do you get Neomag to send you a product for review? Simple. You send them a fucking payment, and they will send you a Neomag.
Yeah, gear reviewers 101.
Yeah, because we're not gear reviewers. So
yeah, well, hey, we're gear reviewers as long as we pay for the shit.
Yeah, guy on the internet. How'd you get Gemtech to send you an Integra upper? Simple.
Oh well,
you pay them $1,900, and they'll send you a fucking upper.
Yeah, we gave them $2,000 and waited 10 months, and hey, guess what? We got an upper. Yay! Hey, look.
Not for nothing. Just as an aside, we had some of the snipers from the one team out at the range last week, and
how bad did that go?
That went well.
Okay,
it went very well.
Because we set up some interesting targets prior to them coming out.
Yeah, and everything
worked out.
Yeah, everything worked out. As a matter of fact, one of the guys, I'll call him Spotter McGee, he actually had a really good idea for a target in a very unique way. That's my nickname for him.
You're killing me, Spotter McGee.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
So when there was a ceasefire, I ran out there real quick and set up a target for his idea, and that's actually going to stay. That'll stay up, and that's actually a superior ideas target as well. So, but one of the guys from the team, we were just because they have suppressors and all that kind of stuff, and he's like, because it's because they saw the Integra and they were like, man, it's pretty quiet. It
is. Unlike you think it is, I think it's very quiet.
And he holds up a suppressor. He's like, you see this suppressor? He said, do you know how long it took me to get the suppressor? I'm like, I don't know. He goes, 2 days.
Now get the fuck out of here! Really?
Well, it belongs to it belongs to the PD. So if he ever leaves that department,
Jesus. Jesus Christ, that in itself explains the private citizen opposed to PD. 10 months, 2 days.
Dude, I don't even know how he got it in. I don't know how the post office mailed it to his PD that quick. From where it came from. It's like, I mean, I couldn't get a priority package from where that thing came from to his PD in 2 days.
God damn, I know. Isn't that crazy?
I wonder if there's like some special super secret NFA mailing system.
Maybe he exaggerated and it was a week opposed to 2 days. But
no, I
still,
believe it was 2 days because they did a trade on something and it was like,
oh my God. Jesus, can you believe that? 10 months, 2 days.
Yeah, 10
That's
months.
Shit.
And we were lucky to get that in 10 months.
No shit. Yeah, we were. Because honestly, when we got it, when you're like, oh, we got the Gemtech upper, I'm like, really? Because I was shocked that it came in that quick. And now, mind you, 10 months is not that quick. But
I expected it in December.
Yeah, exactly. I was figuring around the first of the year, whatever.
Yeah, late December. I was saying, yeah. So we were about the same time. As a matter of fact, it came in so unexpectedly. I was in meetings. I didn't have time to get it for like 2 days.
Hell, it sat there for damn near almost a week before you even picked it up. Because
so you and I went out. We did some training. I was getting used to the Integra. You shot the Integra. I run on forever. What do you think of the Integra?
I love the Integra. I really do. I think it's amazing. And let me just interject. This has nothing to do with the Integra upper, but your lower, you have that 45-degree safety, ambi safety on it.
Yeah.
On what is that, an LMT lower?
Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
You running that on an LMT lower?
Yes, it's the same LMT lower that I've always used.
Yeah. I tell you what, I have to say, I'm thinking about converting my ARs over to that because that 45-degree ambi safety switch you have on that lower is freaking phenomenal. I love it. It is.
Say thank you to Officer Mike.
Well, hey, you know what? Thank you, Officer Mike, because that is the shit. That thing is nice. But getting back to the upper, I'm telling you now. Anyone who shoots suppressors know that you don't want to shoot suppressors all day long without ear pro, because even though it may be safe under the decibels for ear protection, you don't want to shoot it all day because it eventually will cause damage.
Most people don't understand when OSHA gives out decibel numbers for hearing safe and not hearing safe. The standard that they use is for a single iteration of sound.
Exactly.
It's not repeated sound.
Exactly. So if you're under the OSHA decibel rating, and that's great, but if you're going to shoot 200-300 rounds, you still need to use hearing protection because you will do damage eventually. It may not be the same damage you'll do if you had no hearing protection and you shot 300 rounds per se, but you still need to you still need to use hearing protection, because just because it's suppressed doesn't mean it's totally 100% safe for your hearing loss. And
so why are you telling people this?
Well, I'm 54 years old, and back when I first started shooting, hearing protection was not an issue.
It was cotton balls and 45 brass.
Yes, exactly.
And you know that's fucking true.
No, it is true, because at the best, when I first started shooting, the best hearing protection you had was foam earplugs. And dude, foam earplugs are great if you back it up with phones. But look, truth is, it was shitty ear protection. And when I was 20 years old, when I was 15 years old, I was shooting with zero ear pro. Hell, zero eye pro, to be honest with you.
Nobody shot with eye protection.
No. And I mean, the thing is, my hearing, I mean, at my age, my hearing sucks balls anyway. Now that might be for a lot of reasons, but a lot of reasons is because over the last 50 years, I've been shooting a lot.
I'm sure the Who concert had nothing to do with it.
No.
That concert never happened, did it? Okay, all right.
Yeah, 1979, the Who, Cincinnati Coliseum. Just look it up. I was there. But look, I mean, the thing is, when you're shooting a suppressed, whether it's a suppressed upper or whether it's a suppressor on your rifle, whatever the case is, you still need to use hearing protection. I think that the upper that we have, if you shot, a magazine out of it without hearing protection, I think you're totally fine. But you don't want to sit there. Okay, like for example, last week when we were out there shooting it, and there's video to come on that. If we would have been out there all day long, neither one of us with hearing protection, it would have been detrimental in the long run. Because I don't know, what did we shoot? A couple hundred rounds out of it? I don't even know what the round.
I logged it. I can't remember what it was, but like when we got this thing, everybody's like, "Oh, this is hearing safe," and I was "Okay, yeah, no, it's not."
It's not, because in the long run, okay, when you eventually publish the video of us out there, it might be, I don't know, a minute video, a minute and a half, however long the video is. That's literally minutes on the hours, because we were out there for all fucking day shooting video. And I mean, look, we shoot 5 hours worth of video. We might get 2 minutes worth of actual publishable content, and that's fine. But the point is, when you're out there shooting for 4 or 5 hours, dude, you have to have ear protection. You do. I mean,
well, let me specify this for the listener, just so they understand. So, this came in. I was out there. I'm like, let's function test this. And it was the first shots where I had eye pro on and ear pro on. I was like, didn't blow up. I do my little weak-handed look away, whatever bullshit. And then it was like, I wonder if this hearing safe. Pulled one side of the ear pro up, took a shot, and I was like, nope, this ain't hearing safe. And what it is, it's a sonic crack of the bullets. And then in the pit, the sonic crack. Now, we don't have a lot of stuff for the things to bounce on, because once it bounces once, it either goes up or back down the range. So it's not like it's getting reverb or anything. But the sonic crack is pretty substantial, and it doesn't translate on video. The microphones don't pick up the sonic crack really.
No, and it doesn't. And also you have to understand that when we're in the pistol pit shooting, even though the video is what the video is, you don't really pick up the true sound of what's going on.
Oh no, because the camera is either trying to raise low sound or lower high sound. I mean, it's So it's a neat thing. I will say this, like within 60 rounds, I haven't really tried to work it. Now we're probably about 300, because it's got that baffle stack threadable core thing out of the end of it. I'm going to have to probably soak that to get that off, because it's already I'll try to soak it and get that baffle stack off. But what I may have to do is I may have to take it out there and just run it to get it super hot, and then take gloves and a socket set and try to get that baffle stack to turn. I mean, ultimately, it won't be that big of a deal, but it came to be serviceable, and it's kind of what you pay for. It's like I might as well be able to remove it. So, And the thing is, if I can get in there and clean it, that means theoretically I could shoot 22 long rifle in it.
Well, I mean, I think
with the conversion kit.
Yeah. That's interesting. But I mean, at this point in time, it's just a matter of
let me go ahead and tell the listener that may not understand why that's a big deal. If most 22 suppressors, when you see them for sale, you'll notice they come apart. And a lot of companies, like I run a 30 caliber can, I could run 223 through it, 243 and all these other calibers, which is 270, and it's not a problem. But it's not a problem. But the manufacturers, if they find out you're shooting 22 long rifle in a center fire can, they immediately avoid the warranty. And the reason is 22 long rifle is so fucking dirty that it immediately fouls up these cans and the baffle stacks. So unless you can get in there and clean them, don't ever buy a 22 rimfire can that you can't get in and clean it. Well, in theory, I don't think Gemtech says you can do this with the 22s, but in theory, you should be able to get in there and clean that baffle stack and maybe shoot 22 in it. I don't know if I would do that, but I figure I need to be able to get in the baffle stack anyway.
No, I don't disagree with being able to get to the baffle stack to clean it out, but and I don't know if you'll actually show any of this on video or not. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But at the end of the day, last week when we were out there running this thing, we were shooting, and I'm not going to go into detail or anything, but we were shooting. We switched ammo.
Go ahead and say it.
Okay, so we switched from Wolf Performance to
be specific. We switched from Wolf Steel Case. When you say Wolf and everybody goes Wolf, steel case ammo.
Okay,
that's what I've been running through it. And then we switched to Wolf Gold.
Yeah, it was Wolf Performance, which is steel case, and then we switched to Wolf Gold. Well, when we switched to Wolf Gold...
No one knows what Wolf Performance is. Just say Wolf Steel Case.
Okay, Wolf Steel Case. Fine. Okay. When we switched to Wolf Gold, which is brass cased, we started having malfunctions. Now,
which was bizarre. Because the steel case ammo is historically underpowered, and the gold ammo should be loaded to the military M855 standard because it's supposed to be Taiwanese military ammo. But that ammo was puking like crazy.
Well, it was puking like crazy, but it was also dirty as fuck when we switched over and started running it. So until we do some more experimenting on it, we don't necessarily know if it was an ammo issue or if it was, just a dirty issue.
Actually, I do have more information on that. So when the SWAT team or the snipers, it wasn't the whole team. Some of the snipers, when they were out, they heard me shooting it because I was like, "You guys do what you're gonna do. I'll be over here in the pit because if you need anything, let me know because I just want to stay out of it." And eventually, some of them came over because they're like, "What the fuck is that?" And Spotter McGee was like, he was pretty interested. So he shot. I told him kind of what was going on because I was playing with the ammo, and actually, I even found more steel case in the truck. I didn't know it was in there. So I was running that, and I told him what the issues were. He was like, huh. So he gets in his truck, brings over some loaded mags. I don't know what ammo. It was American brass-cased ammo, and it was running fine. Whereas I put the steel in, it would run great. You might occasionally have a bobble because it might be getting dirty, but we lubed the shit out of it. Yeah. Put the Wolf Gold in, which is the Wolf brass ammo, and it would puke almost immediately. Yeah. But then he put his more, better quality ammos in it, and it seemed like to run like it ran great.
See, and again, that's just something we need to experiment with. I mean, is it Wolf Gold just doesn't run in this upper? I mean, that very well could be the case.
It might be,
or I mean, like I said, it was it was pretty dirty when we switched over to the Wolf Gold. So, I don't know, and that's something that we'll have to figure out down the road. But,
I mean, the gun might just have like a 300 round limit. I don't think it does, but it's a possibility that because it runs so dirty, because it's a DI system. I mean, it may be once you get about 300 rounds in it, your firefight better be over because you might start having issues.
I mean, and that could be the case. I don't know. We'll have to work that out. We'll figure it out.
And I'll add this too. When you run this suppressed upper, you are filthy. It doesn't overgas. It doesn't overgas the shooter like putting a suppressor on a regular M4. It doesn't blind you. You don't have that. But it's just if you open that gun up once, or you're loading the magazines because the magazines get filthy, you're just blackness starts. It's like being a coal miner. You are dirty. You are dirty son of a bitch when you run that gun.
Yeah. At the end of the day, your hands are black. I mean, it's very, very dirty.
Even if it doesn't gas you.
No, and it's not really overgassing you. It's not. I mean, and we talked about that on. Again, I don't know if it'll make it to any of the video that you'll eventually produce on this, but I mean, we even talked about that. But
you know what? Let me say this in benefit of Wolf because I don't want to slam on Wolf. So the Wolf steel is traditionally underpowered ammo. It just is because it's cheap and they try to save a few bucks. Yeah. So this upper, it was designed by Gemtech. It's got like a 10-inch barrel, and then it's got a can, and then it's got like a little mini gas tube on it. And what they've done is when you stick a suppressor on a gun, it increases the gas pressure throughout the entire system because not as much gas is getting out the front. So what they did to keep the gas overpressure down in the shooter's face is they didn't turn it down. They just made the gas port smaller, but they turned down the amount of gas that pumps through it because, it's like it's all suppressed all the time. So it doesn't need to be over because if you take the babble stack off the front of this Gemtech upper and you depressurize the system, the gun won't run. Like you take a suppressor off a normal M4, the gun will still run. You put a suppressor on it, it just runs faster with more gas through it. Well, Gemtech turned the gas down on the system because it's permanently suppressed to balance it out, and so it's getting less gas. And it may be just a combination of Wolf and the gas. I mean, like Wolf ammo, I'm sure runs fine on another M4 when you stick a suppressor on it. Like it's not really Wolf's fault either. It's got to be halfway. No,
and again, I'm not saying it's Wolf's fault. I'm just saying that these are issues that we experienced, and for what we have to work with, I mean, we need to work it out.
Wolf Ammo, another company that will not be sponsoring this podcast.
No, and it's not even that. It's look, Wolf Gold is great ammo. I mean, we both shot it to great success.
I shoot a ton of that stuff.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it runs in the suppressed upper.
I mean, the truth is, in 5.56, 223, over the course of my shooting career, I've shot more Wolf ammo than anything, probably by a factor of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close.
Look, I mean, being a 7.62 by 39 guy, I've shot so much fucking Wolf ammo over the years. It's amazing. I love Wolf ammo. I've never had a problem with it. But again, I've never really shot it consistently through a suppressed upper either. Yeah. I mean, you have to take that into consideration because now we're talking about a suppressed upper. We're talking about a whole lot of different factors involved, But
yeah, and we're probably talking too much about this Gemtech upper. But the thing is, the reason you're kind of talking about it is, when I make the videos, because we've shot some of it, I'm going to have to be careful because if I don't portray it in a certain way, it's going to look like this thing doesn't run, and that's not true.
No, that's not true because the Gemtech upper runs like a scalded dog. I mean, dude, that thing runs. I love it. I mean, cool. It's cool as hell, man.
It's cool.
I mean,
I like being up there.
I ran the plate rack with it, and it was just like, damn, this is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
So, like, for the listener, I just had like a rough zero on a red dot. Like, there's no really offset. We got in the pit. I was like, okay, let me just do a dead on zero real quick, and it's zeroed at maybe 20 yards. So like, there's no, and so you're literally with no offset, hold over, under, whatever. You literally are like big.
And it's just like, damn, I like this thing.
I'm like, yeah, you never shot a plate rack so easily in your life, did you? Yeah, I was like, this is like cheesy.
And it's just like, oh man, I'll tell you what, the last time, okay. So I ran the plate rack with the Gemtech. The last time I ran the plate rack prior to the Gemtech was with the Glock 30. And honestly, you'll probably never show the video of me running the plate rack.
Yeah, they will never see that video.
Oh my God, it was so freaking horrible. It was just like, oh my God, it was like the first time I ever shot a freaking gun. It was bad. I mean, I'm just saying it was bad.
A plate rack has the potential to break your soul if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, it does, because I tell you what, you can shoot on paper all day long, but when you shoot on a plate rack, that is not forgiving at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's ugly.
A plate rack will eat your soul.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I did so horribly with this Glock 30. It was just like, oh my God, this is video we can't even show, because it literally looks like I've never shot a gun before in my life. It was that bad. And then I ran with this.
I'll put a video out. Blind man shoots plate rack.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that's what it's like. It's like, oh, okay, we got a blind guy and we gave him a gun and said shoot the plate rack. Well, okay, that was me. You know,
that little pocket rocket 45 is probably a handful too.
Oh my God! I mean, I hate that gun. I do. I hate. Look, everyone that listens to this podcast knows that I'm not a fan of the Glock. But with that being said, I'm not saying Glock is shit. Glock makes a damn fine product. But this Glock 30, and I'm a 45 fan. I mean, I have several of them as well as you do. I shoot 45 on a regular freaking basis. Dude, I shot this Glock 30, and man, I couldn't hit the broadside of a freaking barn. Well, I certainly couldn't hit the plate rack, obviously, from the video that I filmed of it. I mean, it was bad. But you grab the Gemtech and you just like bam, 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 and it's like, wow.
Yeah, we had a speaking of the zero on the Gemtech, we had a little. It wasn't an issue, but the SWAT guys, they took their turns with it, and they're just playing with it, which is fine. And I was like, yeah, you shoot the plate rack, and like, really? I'm like, yeah, you're not hurt. I said if you burn one of those plates, I'll just replace it, but it's not gonna. It's supposed to be rated for 308. So even though we're shooting it close. You're not shooting it at 100 yards. We're shooting this plate rack with 5.56 at probably 15 yards. And he starts to shoot it, and he's having issues. And I realize, I'm like, wait, hold up, cease fire. And I looked at him and I said, this is not zeroed at 50 or 100, and you're trying to do, I said, this is a dead on hold at like 15 or 20. So your holdover and all that's all fucked up. He was like, so just put it on it and shoot. He was like, oh, and he's like, and he burned it down. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
Because everybody's used to either a 30-300 or a 50-250, or 100-yard zero. And, with like an AR with the big red dot on it, it's, you got the offset, and like, you got to, like kind of like hold at the hairlines for face shots and, all this kind of stuff. And it's like, no, hold on. This is all fucked up. We're just playing. Just put it on it and just fucking hit it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but you know what though? I mean, in all fairness, I mean,
Because I didn't want him to look bad in front of the other SWAT officers.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's like, okay, don't look at this as your normal hold. I mean, just do dead on because this is what we've got. Because this is a play toy at this point.
Yeah, it is. It's a toy.
Yeah. And
it's
I mean,
a toy.
And it's a damn fine toy,
I mean, should I make the Gemtech upper my new truck gun?
Yes.
Right now, it doesn't even run.
No, it does run though. That's the thing. On the podcast, I'm saying officially, yes, the Gemtech upper should be your new truck gun. Absolutely. And look, okay, there's some bugs to be worked out of it. There's no doubt about that. But we will get them worked out here. I mean, that's not a problem. Yes, 100% Gemtech should be your new truck gun.
Well, I guess the good news is because I rust all my truck guns, is the baffle stack and the suppressor body on the Gemtech, I believe, are titanium. So that should save me there.
It's not going to rust.
Yeah, see? Okay. Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. If I make it my truck gun, should I keep the other upper in the truck as well, just in case?
Well, yes. And here's the reason I say yes. I say yes because you're down at the farm so much. You're going to run it. You're going to want to and need to run it on a regular basis. Maybe not every day, not every week, but yeah, I'd say keep it in the truck because there's going to be times where you're going to be wanting to run a 5.56 upper, but not in the pit suppressed. So I'd say, yeah, keep the other upper in the truck with you, not necessarily as a truck gun per se, but you will be using it enough at the farm to where, yeah, I'd say keep it in the truck. Why not?
Well, do you think I should just keep the do you think I should keep you think I should just break these up and make them into two guns? Keep the LMT lower on the on the existing key mod upper BCM upper, and then just get a whole new lower and build a clone of the LMT lower and make them two rifles.
Do you want me to have a big old fucking stiffy right now? Is you say, oh, I want to keep the LMT upper on this lower. Yeah.
BCM upper, LMT lower.
Yes. And if you want me to build you a lower for the Gemtech, dude, I mean, that's my fucking wheelhouse.
So we're going to have a Gemtech upper with an Anderson lower and break the internet in half. Is that what you're telling me?
No, you know what? Look, I would build it on an Anderson lower just to break the internet because I think all these motherfuckers on the internet that think Anderson, the poverty pony, Anderson lowers, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, fuck your mother. Yeah, I know.
You know what? That reminds me. Okay, you know my favorite YouTube channel with the unfortunate name, How Hitler, back veteran 8888.
Is it?
Yeah, and I look, I love them. I think they're great. I just always got to say it. So
I like them as well.
But yeah. they did a video. I watched it. I very rarely watch these. They call them a burn down video. And so what they did is they apparently now have a machine gun lower, an M16 lower of some kind. That was probably a post dealer sample.
Sure,
they're probably an SOT, and they took an Anderson upper.
Yeah,
and they set it on full auto and just run it and burn it up and see how well it'll do. And check, huh?
Yeah, he's done several videos. Yes.
Well, but they've done them where they were pulling the trigger, I think, but now they've got a machine gun lower, so it goes a lot faster. And check this out. It's pretty cool. I got to give them real credit for this. So they've got they set it up. I mean, dude, the guy's wearing like body armor. They've got like fire gloves. They've got like a welding mask on. Like, it's crazy. And so
sevens and things like that. They've done many videos of this nature, but yeah,
so,
go
but
on.
I haven't seen all these. So here's what they did. They also have a second camera that they do a picture-in-picture on the video final production that shows a thermal image of the gun as they're firing. So you see it live, and then you see the thermal image at the same time. And so this Anderson upper, I don't know what it was, but it's it's an Anderson upper, and they run it and they run it and they run it. And eventually they get to a point where they tried to put a 60 round like drum magazine in it, which really fucked it up because it didn't feed right. It stopped the gun. And what happened was, and like you could see it coming, I'm like, this is going to cook off. And sure as shit, because it didn't feed right, they had to stop shooting and they had to kind of like clear it. And there ended up being like a piece of brass sitting halfway in the chamber. It basically it cooked off, but it wasn't closed, and so it kind of like it stopped the test. So and so here's what happened. It went really far when they were done. When they were totally like the gas tube had melted and drooped. When it was done, and they let it cool off, they took the whole thing apart, and they even measured the gas port for erosion. 0 erosion on the gas port. The barrel was probably the barrel had probably had heat temperament issues because it got so hot, but the barrel had plenty of rifling in it. It wasn't all worn out. And even the gas tube even had a bend, probably still would have worked.
That's interesting.
It was really interesting. This thing held up. I was like, okay, good for Anderson. Mm-hmm. It's worth it. Well, you know what? I may even tag it. I may even I'll embed the video on our website because I think it's worth worth watching.
It is interesting because every look, and we've talked about this before, and I don't want to get into it, but all these AR guys that spend, $2,000 on an AR build have to justify spending $500 on an AR lower because they're douchebags. You don't have to spend that. You don't have to spend that kind of money on it. But, an Anderson lower for, $30 to $50. Oh, poverty pony, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's fine. It's just a fucking milled block of aluminum. It makes no goddamn difference, but you're paying for the fucking name and the prestige behind it.
Well, hold on. Go ahead.
What I'm saying though is at the end of the day, if you want to build a proprietary lower for the Gemtech, I can build it on any fucking lower you want. Whether you spend $50 on the lower or whether you spend $500 on the lower, I can do it because I build fucking lowers every day.
Well, hold on. Let me just postulate a theoretical douchebag scenario that could happen with this rifle, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this one up because I'm going to probably lose you here in a minute. So that LMT lower that I have, I bought that the summer before Barack Obama got elected. I was traveling. I remember. So, and I didn't pay crazy money for it, but back then LMT wasn't like super cool and expensive like it is now. Yeah. LMT was fine, but it wasn't like now. Like you were telling me, like LMT is like this hot shit fucking brand. I was like,
it wasn't. Back when you bought this LMT lower, it wasn't the quote unquote gold standard.
Oh, hold on. Now let me finish the thought. So I could end up with a truck gun, an LMT lower, which is now going to be expensive, with a Gemtech upper, which is $2,000, with also an aim-point micro on top of it, which is my little red dot, and a 6x aim-point magnifier, which we haven't talked about yet. This has turned into like a $5,000 gun.
Yes, exactly.
A $5,000. This is crazy, the amount of money that would be in that.
Yeah, okay, but look. Okay, you got a couple things. The LMT lower is what it is because the market value is what the market value is. Whether it's deservedly so, it is what it is. You've got an aim point, you got a magnifier, blah blah blah. You can sit there and you can say it's worth it, or you can't say it's worth it. Okay, you've got the Gemtech upper, which is suppressed, and look, dollar wise, it is what it is. I mean, there's no, there's no variance in that. I mean, look, could it be a $5,000 gun? Well, yeah, it could be, but that's just because you choose it to be. I mean, let's make no mistake. You can put together. Look, I can take that Gemtech upper and put it on any one of my builds, and it won't be a $5,000 build.
Well, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is I've got all these disparate parts kind of floating in this this ecosystem, and if they all come together as one gun, that's going to end up as my truck gun. It's turned into, I think, maybe a $5,000 gun, and it's like, holy shit.
Even if it does. I mean, that doesn't make it any less. I mean, the truth is,
all of a sudden, I've turned into one of these guys on one of these gear review channels that has like this crazy expensive gun, and they're all like, "How did you get company X, Y, or Z to send you that to be a gear reviewer?" And it's like, probably because the fuck bought it.
Well, because the answer to that is we're not a gear reviewer, and the $5,000 gun means it was $5,000 out of my children's mac and cheese with sliced up hot dogs in it.
Yeah, so.
That means my children ate ramen noodles instead of mac and cheese with sliced up hot dogs because I have a $5,000 truck gun.
Okay. All right. You know what? We have to wrap this one up because I'm going to lose you in about 30 seconds. So, So I'm a terrible human because I guess there's little kids starving in China because I have a $5,000 truck gun. So
exactly, that is true. But again, we can build you a proprietary lower for the other upper you have, and you can have two truck guns because the truth is there's no rule saying you only have to have one truck gun. You can have two truck guns, and we can build you a proprietary lower at a very affordable, reasonable price.
All right. Well, that wraps up episode 147 of the John 1911 podcast. If you want to see any pictures, links, or stories of things we've talked about, we'll have them in the comment section of this episode on the website. That's at john1911.com. That's JOHN1911.com. Remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody, have a good day.
See you later.
Two fucking truck guns. Jesus Christ.